All right, here you go. Good afternoon, Philadelphia Eagles fans. Good afternoon, NFL fans, to week 13 of the 2020 pandemic coronavirus NFL season. Where this week, actually in a few hours, my Philadelphia Eagles are going to be taking on the Green Bay Packers. So we can potentially move into the strong record of 4-7-1. Take on the NFL, see if we can still get that 1 seed. Yeah, that'd be cool. You know, knock off one of those top teams. And actually maybe move up the rankings, maybe pass the Steelers. I know they're like 11-0, but 3-7-1. If we're a 4-7-1 and we almost beat them, somebody up top has to be looking at that bit. This team's legit. So, yeah, okay, sure. A little goofy to start off. You almost have to have a crazy attitude about this season, because the crazy thing is, our Birds are 3-7-1 and a half game out of first place. And the weird lineup that we have this week, the NFC East is playing like a beast of a schedule. So there might be the potential that it locks in that no team in the NFC East has a winning record after this week. There's a potential for that. We'll see. That being said, all right. This isn't going to be a long video at all, because we say a lot of the same things every week. I don't really want to recap on all that stuff. Talk a little bit about Seattle. Seattle, okay. They brought up the scores last year, both games, 17-9. When it was in the third quarter, and it was 17-9. We just keep reliving the same stuff. The stat sheet, not the stat sheet, the scoreboard looks predictable. No, not predictable. The scoreboard looks a whole lot closer than it actually was. Think about it, we scored a touchdown at the end of the game, got a 2-point conversion, it was like 12 seconds left in the game. It was a weird touchdown pass where it was like bounce, 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 bounce. Carson Wentz's numbers look a whole lot better because of that. And our running game was non-existent. DK Metcalf, yes, it's been said every time he goes to a place, especially Philadelphia, because we struggle at wide receiver. This is a team that should have taken him. They didn't take him. They took this other guy instead. And now this guy's going to keep on killing us, and he does. Right. So, for that game, Carson Wentz threw the ball 45 times. An already struggling offensive line-ish, maybe, along with struggling quarterback with decision-making, which they pointed out in the middle of the game, of the routes that he should be able to look at when he goes through his progressions and there's people that are open. Paired with running backs had a total of 9 carries. Corey Clement had like 1, Boston Scott had 2, and Miles Sanders had 6. On the defensive side of the ball, Darius Slay was matched up against DK and got torched for 10 catches, 177 yards. He might not have been on him on every single one, but DK was obviously the point of focus, and he just made his presence known, which Russell Wilson then was just highly efficient. I think he had like 31 passes, 200-something yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Just a clean game. Eagles aren't creating any turnovers, no interceptions, no fumbles. So, okay, what's the answer? The Eagles' answer was to have a players-only meeting on Wednesday. To have Carson Wentz and Jason Kelsey and Brandon Graham and people to be preaching about accountability and things like that. You see there's some shuffling going on the offensive line. Do I believe it? Well, I mean, you have to see what comes out of it. I mean, you can have a meeting like that, because if we were already out of the playoff race, then I can see them just be like, all right, we'll have this meeting and stuff, and we'll worry about next season. The weird thing is we're half game out in the NFC East, and I'll go over some of those games in a second. So there's still a shot to even win the division at where we're at, and then to try to turn this thing around. But from a fan standpoint, I'm looking at like the play calling and going, where's the running game? Where are some of these different kind of passes? Where's the creativity? There's possession wide receivers like Greg Ward Jr. had like 1 reception or 2 receptions. So like this guy can play. Like, he proved it last year when he helped carry us into the playoffs with some of those clutch catches. And there's reasons why. I remember players like Cole Beasley made a name for himself because he was that possession type wide receiver where he's going to be able to beat the other team's third corner. Like, Fulgham's going to get attention, especially since he showed he could play a couple weeks ago, but we haven't heard from him since. Alshon Jeffrey came back, didn't really contribute much. We really highlight a lot on our tight ends, Goddard and Rodgers. Zach Ertz has been out, but then, Greg Ward, where's the catches out of the backfield by Miles Sanders? It just seems, as a fan, I don't know everything I know, but it seems as a fan, we're not taking some of the smaller things to make second down and third down a whole lot more manageable. It seems like we're trying to go deeper all the time, and it's causing for our third down conversion rate to be horrible because we're going for 3rd and 9. So our running game is not existent because we don't trust it enough to stick with it. So it's like, what are we going to do? Hold the playoffs only meaning, you got to think, like, Carson Wentz is still like in his mid-20s. There's a lot of leadership that needs to happen from the top down because there's some things that he's not old enough yet. So who knows what they said to Doug Peterson, and Doug Peterson's giving up some of their play calling to the passing coach, but it's very obvious that they're going pass heavy. Where's Deuce? Where are you throwing Deuce in to say, hey, look, you need to run the ball a lot more? I got some talented running backs back here. We've seen Boston Scott torch a Giants team. They might not be great, but Boston Scott is like Darren Sproles 2.0. Miles Sanders is touted as a great running back that can run and catch out of the backfield, but we're not seeing it. Corey Clement, we saw him do what he did in the Super Bowl, so we know he's capable of it. So there's something else going on. It's kind of weird. I really don't have any answers for it. Yeah, do I hope the Eagles will win against the Packers? Yeah, we're 9-point underdogs, which do I think we can cover? Yes, I would actually call it. But looking at the NFC East, I'm going to transition to the last because there's nothing more really to talk about with the Eagles until we see something different and see if we actually call plays different. We run the ball more. We change things up, so we actually create some turnovers. I want to see people ripping at the football. So the NFC East this week. The NFC East has a brutal of a schedule. So the Giants go to Seattle. Washington plays the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. We play the Packers, and Dallas plays on Tuesday, which is just weird, but Tuesday against the Ravens. I know I'm a diehard Eagles fan. The team with the best chance at upset is like Dallas, right? Which is weird. They're sitting at the bottom of the NFC East because the Ravens, like Lamar Jackson, he's supposed to come back, which is good because, every Eagles fan, every NFC East but Cowboys fan should want the Ravens to beat the Cowboys. But how is he going to come back? How healthy is he going to be? Is there any lingering because of having a week off? How's their defense compared? We almost beat the Ravens, and Dallas can tune up the offense. Maybe their defense is horrible, but they can tune that up. So we're watching that one pretty close. Yeah, we upset the Packers last year, but then Aaron Rodgers says he remembers that, and who knows, Devontae Adams might just completely kill us this week. It's a sexy pick that people are saying that Washington's going to give Pittsburgh a run for their money. No. It's not going to be a blowout. I think Washington's going to hang in there with Riverboat Ron Rivera, but I still have Pittsburgh winning by 10. They're favored by 7, so I think Pittsburgh's going to cover there. And I see, the Giants against the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are going to beat them by more than 7.5 points. So let's just make it fun. So I'm looking at something different. Seahawks cover. They win by 10. I'm going to have the Seahawks winning by 13. Pittsburgh winning by 10. I'm just going to say my Eagles are going to cover. I never predict a loss, but I'm going to say my Eagles are going to cover. Their underdogs by 9 points. My Eagles are going to cover. And Dallas is going to cover. So let's revisit that, see how that turns out. Other than that, I'm still wearing my green, still got my birds. Even if this is going to be a suck season, this is kind of what being a Philly fan is all about. And just finding a way. I know I'm going to be cooking up a storm, I'm going to be having lots of food for whoever's here to watch the game. I got burgers, I got ribs, I got, what else do I got? Buffalo chicken dip, one of those deals. And I'm just gonna still try to find a way to have fun. I'm not gonna be all down in the dumps. I still wanna be entertained to a point, and I wanna see my Birds beat the Packers, and we'll just talk about this after. Other than that, always great shout outs to people out there. Des Eagle, always love hearing from you. Frankie B, thanks for tuning in week out, no matter how well we do. Viv, maybe I'll see a hello from you. Angry Birds, tune in, and yes, you still won that contest from last year. Let's make it work so I can send you that out. And go Birds. I hope something works. And I hope we upset the Green Bay Packers. Have a great day.